Okay, let me just check one or two things here, make sure that we're good. We want to go on that. We want to check that. Okay, give me 1 second here, guys. That. Let's add that to there.
Hello all, hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
I'm going to pin that message. Yep. Excuse me. Right, there we go. So, that's done. Okay then, so what's the plan? Let's have a look what our treasure is. Now that's building up nicely. Now I wonder in this new update, excuse me, what 7,110 will look like, what level that will be. Because in the new system, when you look at it, it's going to tell you, based on the amount of treasure you've got, what level your purge is, and apparently it goes up to 10. So I don't know if it's going to be like, I don't know, 10,000 would be level 5, and then I don't know, because you can get a lot of treasure, can't you? I mean, we've only got that little bit in there, and then I have managed to find 4 of these bountiful treasure chests. We'll just have to see with that. That's going to be interesting. So let's have a look. There is a quick way of doing this. How do I do it? Bazaar, there we go. What have we got in here? Ah, this set's still in. I am considering getting this one. Definitely looks nice, especially the bed. I like the style of the bed in that one. Then we've got something different again there. Then we've got another set of clothing again by the look of it. Well, it's the same setup, so we've got the robes, that one, and that one. Just the picture looks different. Then what else have we got? A box of fish. That's alright if you're in a market stall, I suppose, but you know. Hidden door bookshelf. Ah, yeah, that's a good one. That is actually part of the hidden bookcase set. Well, hidden door set. There was 3 pieces in it. You had the hidden bookcase, and there was a hidden wardrobe. It looked like almost, and a carpet and trapdoor that went over a trapdoor frame. So they were pretty cool. I did actually previously have those built. I've not actually built them on this server yet. Bulwark, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. There we are again, Friday already. We were just having a look at the bazaar a minute, waiting to see how many people were going to join, see if anybody was joining. Thought we don't want to get into too much before people join, otherwise I wouldn't know what's going on. Excuse me. So yeah, that set is definitely what I'm considering. Looks pretty interesting with what you get with it, especially that bed. That's really nice. That's nice as well. Yeah, that's okay. And that. Then of course the clothing set. Obviously going to be more for cosmetic than any armor value probably. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, how are you, Bulwark? Are you good?
First I thought it was discounted from 2020 to 2044. Yeah, I'm great, mate.
Ah, that's good. Good to know. Yeah, yeah, good, thank you. Bit of a quieter week this week with the videos, I know, but we're doing the stream tonight, so I thought I've got a couple of videos in mind I'm going to be putting together. Should be coming out over the weekend and beginning of next week. Especially didn't do anything yesterday. Ended up watching the dev stream. I missed the first bit of it, but managed to then re-watch it, and bit of a mixed bag on that one. I'm glad they are finally aware about the hidden animals on, well, invisible animals rather, on console, and fingers crossed they have said that in this update that they will be fixed. So we'll have to see. I can all guarantee the minute the update drops, I install it as soon as I can get on the game. I'll be jumping on here on the server, and the first place I'll be going is right over here to the savannah and seeing whether I can see that elephant or not. See if Bigfoot's actually invisible Bigfoot still, or Thunderfoot, sorry. Whether it's invisible Thunderfoot or whether it's a visible one. So I'll have to see. But yeah, interesting changes coming. I'm surprised they're doing away with the
I don't know how I feel right now about Chapter 2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Really. Are you trying out the public beta, like having a look at stuff and seeing how it's changed to see what you think? I may try and do it. I do have it on PC as well. I might try and download it and sort of have a play around. It's a bit difficult for me to do videos on it yet because I'm not familiar with setting all the recording stuff up on PC as yet. I might have a look though just to get some ideas, but yeah, the fact that they're getting away with from taking legendary chests away from world bosses, but then
I don't have space on my HD right now.
got you, got you. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't get why they're taking the legendary chests away from world bosses, but they're saying that you're going to be able to get them in dungeons, or certainly at the end of dungeons. So you'll still get the skeleton key from a world boss when you kill it. I don't know how I feel about that one. It's kind of cool that they're making them a weapon you get off a boss at the end of a dungeon, which makes it a bit more interesting, I suppose, and worth doing that dungeon again to see what you get.
Is like on Sictor.
Oh, yeah, yeah, 'cause it's different on there, isn't it? Yeah, I've not really played Scepter all that much. I have it, but I don't know. I think it's because I'd always played Exile Lands. I just got so used to it, which is why I do all my content on here, really, because I don't know enough about Scepter and the dungeons and the bosses and the layout or anything. I know they've been having a big issue with the Southern Island, haven't they? Causing crashes. Excuse me. But yeah, so in a way, killing a world boss now is going to feel a bit pointless because, yeah, you'll chop them up, you'll get a key off them, but then it's a case of just keeping that key and waiting till you go and do a dungeon, I suppose. But I suppose that gives you an excuse to run a dungeon again, doesn't it? Hello to anyone else who's in chat that's just joined, nice to see you. Here we are again, Friday stream, of course. There's a couple of hours of talking utter nonsense, from my part, obviously. Just chilling out on Conan, and yeah, today we're kind of talking about the dev stream and everything that was said yesterday, good and bad and in between, shall we say. This will definitely be interesting.
I actually don't mind that will make it a tiny bit harder in the beginning. But I saw Anna on test version and was getting a lot of puff.
Right, that's interesting, Bulwark. Yeah, I saw her video. She's done a video. I meant to have a look at that. I've just not got round to it. But yeah, it's. I do like a couple of the bits they've done, like this combat animation they're on about as well. That if you're aiming a certain way and you're locked onto a certain enemy, you're going to be able to change direction a bit easier. And I know Whack4863 had brought a video out earlier on today, and he was saying in that how he can't just quite put his finger on what it is yet, but combat definitely feels different. So that's probably a positive. And I do like, going back to the dev stream, the look of the way the new purge is going to work, how they're going to run out from a little operating base that spawns, and you're going to see them running into your base trying to get through your doors and everything. So I would say if you've not got all your followers or friends, shall we call them, because we don't like to call them thralls, do we? If you haven't got all your friends leveled up, now's the time to get it done because you're going to need them. Yeah, So this is a treasure room I kind of built. I actually went for a completely different location in the end. I did have a look at that one in the snow, but
The NPCs spawning was a bit funny and weird.
yeah, it was a bit. I had a look at the snow and I had a few problems with that area, and I decided in the end I was going to build something actually where I said here on this flat bit, because I do want to test out when it comes out how well sort of where their forward operating base could spawn around here. I've got these two young ladies to take with me today. Got a berserker that we're finishing off levelling up, and I've had a Leoneely sat in my base for ages.
Look a wassin.
Yeah, it definitely does. Couple of interesting armour sets, like one that is it called the mummy or something? What's that? Wrap yourself up like a mummy. That's definitely interesting. And I can't remember the name of it, but I think it was the first one that I think it was Dennis that showed it off, or Andy. But yeah, I kind of liked it on the male, but then when they showed it on a female, I thought, oh yeah, actually looks really nice on female as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to get that one. So yeah, I've got Leah Neely with me. Excuse me.
I have a feeling that this team working on Conan will make the game unplayable at some point.
Let's hope not. Because we don't want that, do we? We want it to be playable. We definitely don't want it to be unplayable, but we know these problems come along with new updates and everything. Let's just hope that, we don't get too many more problems, because it's difficult, isn't it? It's frustrating for us as creators and frustrating for us as players when a game's so buggy, but I'm sure it's just as frustrating for the developers who are trying to fix these issues, and we can all sit here and rant and rave and say, oh, this needs fixing, that needs fixing, all you need to do is this or that, but at the end of the day, I suppose we're not developers, are we? It's alright us saying, oh, can't you just fix this, that or the other, but I suppose it's not a case of just flicking a button or changing a path on a game as simple as that. There's obviously a lot involved with it, and they must be under a lot of stress to obviously deal with what they're doing. Every credit to them. Yes, they might not be as good as we would like them to be. Hopefully things will improve. Everybody has their frustrations, as I'm sure they do as well.
Oh, I wish I knew how to make games.
Oh, me too, Bulwark, me too. Me too. I think we'd be even more frustrated with this game if we knew how to do it and we worked for a different company and we saw what they were doing with this. I'm sure we'd be very frustrated, wouldn't we? Yeah. So yeah, this is the build. This is in the middle, and this is my, what I'm calling treasury, if you will, which you've just seen where all the treasure stuff is. And because this is my own server that we own, that is open to people to play on console for PlayStation 4 and 5. And we actually have an admin shop, so you can buy yourself a Witch Queen or a Ladagara if you want one. Because obviously, as we know in the normal game, they're not actually friendable, but just to do some testing and try different things out, we thought, why not?
Can we now get a perch at New River?
Yeah, you can. The way the new perch system is going to work, with the it'll look a bit different to now, but when you access your treasure coffer like this, and then you talk to your guy here, this UI is going to look different, and it's going to tell you what your treasure is, so the amount and everything as it does now, but then it'll say underneath purge level, and apparently it's going to scale from like 1 to 10, and obviously depending on the value of your treasure in your coffer or in the vicinity of your coffer will depend on the purge level you're going to get, and then there'll be a bit underneath which will tell you if you're eligible for a purge. So if you have a base that's built say on top of a cliff and no staircase to get to it, if you try and request a purge on there, which there'll be a tab for at the bottom, it will basically say you're not eligible for a purge. But unlike the old purge system, where if you built anywhere around here, so on New River all around here, you would purge what you call a purge free zone. There's going to be no such thing as a purge free zone now, so you can build literally anywhere on the map, and it doesn't matter where you build. So say you want a relic hunter purge, so you build over here, or you want the Nordheimer purge, so you build in the snow. You're not going to get that now. It's going to be a totally different system that wherever you build, when you want a purge, you can request it by building up your wealth in your coffer to however much you want. So the more you have in it, then essentially that will mean the higher level your purge will be, and it's going to go up to level 10, I believe, at first. Dennis did say they may increase it in time, but level 10 at first, and the option at the bottom I think says something like declare your wealth to the world, and then depending on where your base is, if there is a, like here, there's a doorway, so if anything, if I got a purge in the new system here, I'm on the current version, obviously, by the way, on console, I'm not actually on the new one, but this would be how
I'll
they
show
would...
you what tier of purge you will get. Fire.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if that's how they'd get to my coffer through that door, but they'd need to get into this base, and there's two ways. You've got a gateway here and a gateway at that end. So essentially what would
Oh,
happen...
okay. I'm going to make a decoy treasure room and test the easiest purge first when the new chapter comes out. Definitely trying it out.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing to do. It's what a lot of people will be doing, because we don't know exactly how it's going to work. But yeah, you request it in your coffer, and then somewhere near your base, provided there is a like valid location, you'll see like a camp spawn. I think Black 4863 has done a bit, and maybe a couple of other people at the moment that are playing on Test Live, and you sort of see the camp on there, and the little waves of enemies will come out of that camp to your base. Now obviously this gate was closed and I had all these people out here defending, they would try and kill them to stop them getting in, because essentially if they get inside my base and they get to that treasure coffer, they can...
Also depends on how many combat thralls you have inside the base.
So yeah, that's another thing again. The more thralls you have, so the more fighters, or friends as we like to call them, yeah, the more friends you have, so NPC wise, not real people, the more difficult the purge will be again, and the amount of enemies that will come. So
because I have like 200k worth of treasure. I'd hate to lose that, haha.
yeah, I know what you mean. It's going to be tough by the look of it, but if you've got really good...
The whole new system definitely seems lots of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely, it definitely does. So if you've got all your followers, as long as you've got them geared up in really good high armour, for example, in case you've never seen, my particular setup for my fighters is the Redeemed Legion helmet, because that gives them strength weapon bonus. The Void Force Dragon chest, again, more strength. Godbreaker grips, the Champion's legs, and then the Hyperborean boots. I'm not going to say the full name, but we all know what they're called. And it gives them a decent amount of armour. And obviously this young lady isn't fully levelled up yet, but as you can see there, she's got a decent 42% strength bonus, and you can even get, if you're lucky with their levelling up, like Berserkers or a Delincia for example especially, they could get a really high damage bonus. Now that's her 42, that's before I've even given her a slice of salted pork or a the elixir of might or a lotus potion to boost her strength, which if I gave her two of those, like the potion and the pork, that'd be another 30% on top of the 42, which is 72%. That's before she's even max level. So if you can really give them some decent high value armour, but with the most strength on it, if they're a strength build or agility, if they're an agility build, the Stygian Soldier is really good for that. It's a heavy armour set, and it'll, if you craft it with a shield right armour, you'll get, I think instead of 3% agility weapon damage, you'll get 5 on each piece. And if you gear them up right, your followers, honestly, they can hit like absolute trucks and take very little damage. What I tend to do if I'm running War Party, which I'll be honest is my sort of favourite way to run followers, one of them will have a two-hander. So at the moment this one is using Perfected Hardened Steel two-handed sword, but some of them have also got, like the guards on the base at the moment here have got Telis Sorrow, which is still a hardened steel weapon, but really, really good. And then Leah has a mace, so she's using Momentum, which she was using Nortis before, but now just swapped out to Momentum because I've done some testing with this, and honestly, when they hit with Momentum, wow, they hit hard. It's really fun actually, because if you turn her Irritate perk off and leave it on anyone that has the mace, they will just, because they can't get interrupted, because they get an extra little bonus called Hyper Armor. So when they're doing their combo with their mace, they can't get interrupted. So they can do a lot more damage, which allows your...
I actually like the old Purge. It has a bit of urgency to get some good fighters and make a strong base.
Hello, hope you're good. Nice to see you. Welcome. Yeah, that's true, Bulwark. I know what you mean. It was like you'd come on if you knew your Purge meter was nearly full the day before, and then, oh gosh, the horn goes, and you got that. Is it 15 minutes you used to get to prepare everything? I suppose this one for new players is going to be good because they've not got to worry about building a Purge meter that they're not going to be ready for, and you can build a specific Purge base somewhere that is purely just decked out with your best fighters and archers and, you know, ready to take on a Purge that you can call in. Because apparently when you defeat the certain amount of waves, there is a 2-skull boss that spawns at the gateway, and then if you kill him, you can loot some good stuff off him. He'll also give you a couple of keys, and there are some cages in this outpost that you can unlock and release a couple of new type of merchants from. And they'll be like, one might be like specific items related to the Purge, so like siege related items that you can purchase, or one might have like materials for you to help to buy to repair your base, because there are going to be fighters within this group, like specific people. I think it's the ones that Wack was saying, or Andy was saying in the stream rather, like wearing the sort of, is it the set armor I think he said, or something like that, a bit like the set priests have, that they're going to come and try and break your door down to get everybody into your base, and they're going to come as a group, so you want to have a decent amount of followers like these with the right armor and a mixture of weapons, I'd say. So you've got some people doing AoE damage, some doing up close damage with...
I will do some just to get the new armor recipe, then I will not need them anymore.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. So yeah, this is the base, and on the towers, you can just kind of see if I'll go up in a minute. I've put a trebuchet on each corner, just going to do some experimenting just to see how they're going to work here and what the distance is going to be like. They might not be any good up there, they might be too high up on the corners, I don't know.
Do
So
you know what does the Thrall Fletcher do?
The Fletcher, I believe, is to do with carpentry, so it's a carpenter. The Fletcher, I can't just remember off the top of my head what they actually do.
T4 carpenter that gives armor pen.
They are, thanks Bulwark. Yeah, Fletcher is your armor pen, there you go. And I think there's one called Bowmaker. Is he or she's the damage one, aren't they, if I remember rightly, Bulwark, is that right? The Bowmaker. Yeah, no worries, Papa. Bulwark's always on it there, he's Googling. I mean, he tells me he's Googling it, but I think he really knows it all.
Damage, build a hyphen durability.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah. Good evening, anyone who else has just joined. Nice to see you. I hope you're well. Another Friday relaxed stream on Conan Exiles, just doing whatever. And
I know.
There we go. If you want to know about Thralls, guys, especially crafters, Bulwark's your man. Bulwark's the one. He knows his stuff, I tell you. He's certainly helped me these past few weeks. I mean, I know a fair bit, but...
When I Google will take me more time to respond.
That's fine, Bulwark, don't worry. The fact is you're there looking for me. That's all that matters. Yeah, yeah. Tell you. Yeah, very good. I'll be lost without you. So,
Lol.
so this is a temporary little base. I say temporary. It's not my main base. I do actually have a main base on the server, but that's obviously the treasury room. Got an archer up here, and then I've just got a couple of people outside the gate, one on either side of the gate, the same at the other side, and then we've got two people this side, two people that side. Essentially what I'll do if I'm going to trigger a purge eventually, I'll probably move all of these outside the gate and then close this inner gate. And then I haven't actually finished in here yet,
The
but
only thing I don't like about new changes is the fixed order of the recipes from the archives.
yeah, I'm a bit 50-50 on that one. I agree with you in the sense I'm a bit like, oh, now it's going to be in order, but then yeah, because I like the randomness before, and the randomness is good. But in a way, I kind of like that it's now going to be ordered, so at least I'm not going to end up with, 6 of the same recipe that I've always had. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's one of those, isn't it? You'll like it or you won't like it. So yeah, I've not finished here yet. But this is going to be a little alchemy room. Then we're just going to have our tanners are going to be working in here. Armourers. It's all just a bit of a show thing, really. This is one of my assassin build that I've made. This is how she looks. She's a full agility build. Max level, she hits pretty hard, so she's pretty decent, but not mega massive health, but came out alright, really. Then this will be another room. Oh, this is the carpenter, so yeah, we've got the precision carpenter there. Then
Is
a
the
regular.
cannibal brute going to be nerfed on the next update?
Emil, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correct. Do forgive me if I'm not. I'm not
Yes,
entirely
but
sure.
if you want to get to a specific will take you a lot of fragments. That before might get with 2 or 3 if I got lucky.
Yeah, that's true, Bulwark. Yeah, very true. Yeah, Emil, if I'm pronouncing your name right. As far as we know, I didn't hear anything mentioned in the dev stream that they're going to be nerfing the Cannibal Brute. I'm surprised. Now, whether it's intentional that they were supposed to be so strong and that's why they've not mentioned anything because they are staying the same, or whether it's actually a bug that when the new update comes out they'll just change and they'll just change and they'll be weaker. We don't actually know, so that's a good question. I'm surprised they didn't mention it because I did miss about the first half an hour or so of the stream, and when it had finished I did skip it back to the beginning and listen through that bit again, but I didn't hear anything mentioned about the Cannibal Brute. I do actually have one, believe it or not. I wasn't so sure about them at first, but I do actually have one who is fully leveled up, and yeah, she hit pretty hard. And decent health as well, I must
It's
say.
actually EMEL and not EMIL, but it's a K, haha. I
Oh,
wish they did it
got
differently,
you.
like open a list, and you can get what you want but will cost 2 fragments per recipe.
2 per recipe, right. That's very interesting. 2 per recipe. So yeah, it's going to be more. You have to kill a lot more world bosses, aren't you, to get a lot more fragments? Yeah, that's very interesting.
When you have 6 table leg scrolls you are glad. They are changing it to a guaranteed list in order.
Thanks, York. Yep, nice to see you. I hope you're good. So many knowledgeable people about this game, you don't realise just how many people there are that play it that know so much about it. It's amazing. This is what it's all about. All working together and helping each other and making the game more
Evening,
fun.
sir.
Angar, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Good evening. Hope I'm not disturbing your curry. Of course it is Friday night, curry night again.
I'm not saying the old was better, just not fan about the new system grinning face with smiling eyes. I've read that some of the NPCs doing too much damage apparently was a mistake and will get fixed, so I was wondering if that's gonna be the Hey Angar.
Right, Emil. Yeah, it's going to be interesting that then, isn't it? It may be in the patch notes. I haven't actually had a chance to pull them out and have a look yet, but obviously things can be subject to change. I'm sure Angar will be.
I think it was the wine cellar sub-bosses who were one-shotting me. Hello, good sir.
Got you, got you. Yeah, I'm sure Angar will be jumping on the test lab and trying lots of stuff out and reporting back to us with lots of videos, I'm sure, because obviously, as you know, he does his content on PC. I'm sure we'll have lots of fun, interesting videos to come from him very soon. That is when he's not working, obviously, because as we all know, he still works, which is
So
very, very admirable.
Cimmerian berserkers will still be the meta grinning face with smiling eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So waiting patiently, rolling on the floor laughing.
So you thought you'd pop in and say hello when you waited for your curry? Well, I'm very honoured. Thank you, good sir. That's very kind of you. I hope it's worth it when it comes and that you enjoy.
Oh yeah, I wonder if they changed the melee multipliers on the brute and others.
Yeah, they could have done. Of course, that's one of the things I'll be doing. When the new patch does drop, I will obviously get a new Cannibal Brute and try them again and see if they hit just as hard still and whether they are still worth it. It's kind of strange, they're like a tier 1 sort of early game Defari person,
They
but
probably will, right? Angar, I take it curry is your favorite food. Grinning face with sweat.
tell you, the man pops in to say hello and you're all ganging up on him now, look at that. Oh dear.
I tried to ask the devs several times about Cannibal Brute stats, but they never replied. Disappointed face.
Oh. Hey, at least you're able to get into.
100% it will work.
At least you're able to get hold of Mangar. I've not had any luck getting any sort of contact with them myself just yet. So you're lucky in that sense that you can at least contact them. But yeah,
Stream was chaotic.
Yeah.
Wow, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
The FunCon stream was chaotic. When is a FunCon stream not chaotic? Andy even admits, doesn't he? Especially when Dennis had left, that he was in the driving seat and they said, oh, things are going to be crazy because they've just had a new setup, haven't they? New microphones, he was saying, new lighting, everything, so I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. One of the features I do like, and I can't remember whether Dennis said, I know they said for the archers the change that they're bringing in about them staying on their spot where you put them won't be in this update, but I can't remember if he said when you go to move a fighter, for example, where he showed where you got like the ghost image where you can snap them to a certain point. I can't remember whether they said that will be in this update and the archers are in the next one, or whether that's part of the future update as well, because I know they mentioned that, and the fact that they're going to be reducing the thrall placement. So essentially, I'm hoping this means you could do like single player, and it means you could have two people stood like this pretty close together, because obviously on single, and Angar will know this, on single player you can do this, but if you try and place them together on
guard positions is in chapter 2. It will be a microtransaction, just joking.
Oh, thanks, Angar. Yeah, brilliant. Microtransaction. Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to position your thralls a bit nearer, if you want to buy places for them, yeah, you'll have to pay for them. Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Yeah, buy NPC slots. Or a specific foundation that you have to build to place them on it. No. Hopefully it works. I'm hoping so, because there's many a time where I've wanted to put like one guard between a doorway, you know, or like these now. I'd love to be able to move her slightly more to the left, then her slightly more to the right, but I guarantee the minute I go to move either one of them, because they've got to have at least this square foundation between them, it'll say that they're too close, and it's like, too close, they're nowhere near each other. But yeah, that will be a cool feature, especially for defending your treasure room, because then you could have potentially, if it's going to be that close, people on this side of your gate as well, which would make it better, definitely.
Oh yeah, because you're on a server.
Yeah, this is my own server that I'm on at the moment. This isn't single player. I've got my beginner's guide that I'm a bit behind on at the minute because of other
Isn't
bits
there
and
a setting
pieces.
for that?
I thought there was, but do you know, this is something I thought will work
That
ages
distance is a
ago.
server setting.
Whereabouts in server settings is it, Angar? Because I know on console, I used to look for this ages ago, and I could never ever find anything that says about like thrall
High
placement.
loading hand. But I think it is a config file change, not in GUI.
Gaming with Gem, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm not sure. I used to go through all of these in the past and I could never see anything.
Good, thanks. Rolling on the floor laughing.
Good, that's nice to know.
Oh, it's console. I forget consoles are a bit limited.
Yeah, I would be doing a lot of stuff on single player. Personally, if I didn't have my beginner's guide series on there, it would make life a lot easier because you still have, excuse me, admin access, for example, and all that type of stuff. But a lot of it's easier doing on here, obviously. And I am still trying to learn on PC and get used to it, especially with the controller. I do try with mouse and keyboard a little bit, but I think I'll be a controller person, to be honest.
The interior designer arrived. Smiling face with sunglasses.
Yeah, it certainly is, Angar. That's the interior designer. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We should hopefully have another collab coming up very, very soon if anybody's interested. While we're talking about interior designer, if I did mention last time, she is a Sims 4 content creator on PC. So if you're a Sims 4 fan, then do go over to PC and check out Gaming with Gem. She's a, like I say, Sims 4 creator. Looking forward to Sims 5 when that eventually comes out. And yeah, she recently joined us on here, and we had
Clapping hands, clapping hands, clapping hands.
we did the collab video together, and she enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed it. And like I always admit, I'm not very good when it comes. I'm not very good when it comes to interior designs.
Do you play with mods at all?
No. Unfortunately, I can't play with mods on console. If that's me talking to, we are very, very limited. Unfortunately, Sony and Microsoft. I don't know if Xbox can, but Sony don't allow people to use mods on consoles, which is a little bit disappointing to say the least, because it would be pretty cool. But I am trying to learn on PC, and I do have it on PC, and I may even download the.
No loudly crying face.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. It's not obvious necessarily all the time. It's not a problem. But yeah, I want to try and learn it on there because I might have a look at the public beta on the single player and have a bit of a play around. I didn't with Age of Sorcery when that beta was out because I didn't really know it well enough then, but I kind of didn't want any spoilers or to discover anything. But with some of the things I've seen now, I am kind of intrigued, shall we say. And especially the fact that they're adding some content to dungeons, so there'll be some new bits to do in dungeons as well, which will make them more worth doing. So maybe that'll mean, like where there's empty rooms or spaces in a dungeon at the moment, maybe there'll be an extra boss in there or something to interact with, who knows. So yeah, what's everybody thinking about the potential new Age of War Chapter 2 then? Good, bad? What are people thinking, or just wait and see? Excited? Is it what they expected? Let me know what you guys think. Right. Do we want to be doing something? This is the question.
What I saw, I'm pretty divided. I'm excited. The pyramid building set looks cool, the rest seems very meh.
Oh yeah, yeah, York. When I saw that, I thought, ooh. And then when he actually went inside as well, how he opened up the door on the outside, and you're going down these little narrow corridors, and even the doorways just blended in so much with the stonework. God, imagine the base you could make in one of them. If it was a PvP base, you'd never get raided very easy, would you? People wouldn't know where to get to you. Feel like you're playing Tomb Raider or Indiana Jones. Definitely some interesting builds I bet will be popping up on servers then with that build set when it comes out. Gonna take a bit of playing around with, definitely. Definitely.
I can make a proper pyramid now, grinning face.
That's true.
Stygian's highest tire perch would spawn the snake god. At least that's what I thought when I saw the chapter 1 trailer. Yes, that is cool off.
Yeah, Angar, look forward to it. I was amazed, I'll be honest with your previous playthrough that you did where you built the ship on the river, and I tried to have a little go myself before I was making videos obviously, but nah, nothing like the ship you built, flipping heck. I loved it. Every time I hold the next episode I just kept thinking, that's one very clever ship. So yeah, every credit to you, and I've just watched your video today as well from your beginner's guide. Does a good job on that one once again, sir. Very nicely done. Tell you, I've got a lot of practicing and a lot of learning to do. But hey, we've all got to start somewhere, haven't we? Right. What was I thinking? Has anybody seen the video that I brought out?
Thank you, bud.
No problem. The video I brought out a few days back about the solo assassin build, that was the first time I've ever sort of attempted something like that. I thought it might interest people. See what we think. I mean, sure, somebody will have different ideas and different ways of doing it. I am looking at a strength version of that sort of build now, so another build will be coming out shortly, but based off strength more than that'll be based off strength more than agility, and there are a couple of ways to do it. I'm looking at a non-corrupted version, so it'd be a version sort of as I am now but without followers, and then I say corrupted version, but you wouldn't go full corruption. It would literally just be up to the third perk in vitality and the third one in authority, just because of what those actual corrupted perks actually give you, especially I think it's the first one in authority changes to like a frenzy perk, so when you hit an enemy you see like this flash of light, and I'm sure you've all tried it, and your follower essentially ends up with a small damage boost for a short time. And when I was testing it out with another berserker today, I think she was at like level 12, and
she then go with the abyssal armor plus 50% STRDMG.
Yeah, that's the one, the abyssal armor. Yep. I had that on, and I gave her the frenzy buff, and she had, I think it was 81% strength weapon bonus at first with the armor set that she was wearing, because obviously she's wearing the same as these. So she had that, and then when I happened to check while she had the frenzy buff active, it had jumped up to something stupid like 125% strength damage boost. And we went into the Clayle stronghold, and the skeleton boss at the beginning, the 3 skull, she had a mace and she literally hit him twice and he was dead. And I was just like, okay then, that was interesting. So I'll have to try that build maybe with a cannibal brute, because if they already hit hard now, I'm not saying it's possible, but just say that cannibal brute could one-shot 3 score bosses. That might be a little bit broken. But all will be revealed. We'll have to see on that one. But yeah, I'm still using.
Yes, because plus 19 corrupted points in authority will be 3x 19% damage.
Yeah, I used to go to the 19, and I actually got that sort of build idea with that on the corrupted bit from Whack 4863. I think he called it the Immortal Commander build or something, and I like as well that when you do the corrupted version, yes, there is a downside. You've only got half health, half stamina. Some people don't like that kind of thing. But a plus that I do like is the fact that you're immune to disease, bleed, poison, and sunder, is it? Or cripple, one of the two. But there's what?
Authority 20 is just annoying, so I always just go to 19 to keep well trained.
Yeah, I got to the 20 in authority in the normal perks, but I found going up to the 15 with the corruption at the minute still seems to do a decent amount. Yeah, I was testing that out earlier with one follower, obviously not the two, because I think one of the perks on the abyssal armor is follower damage, and unless they changed it, your two in war party, these wouldn't get the bonuses from my armor because it only affects a single follower. But bear in mind also as well, they had the plus 20 and everything as well. Still more testing to do on that, and then obviously once I'm happy with it, or I think it's worth obviously putting a video together and showing you, I will obviously be looking at doing that. And I was saying earlier, the reason why I've got these two today is a bit of a mixture of Berserker and a Leonili. Can be any tier 4 dancer, obviously it doesn't have to be Leonili. But I wanted to sort of try out when we're sort of wandering around doing things, especially in the Unnamed City. If you're trying to keep your build free from corruption, it's potentially good to have a dancer with you. So while we're here, we're just going to wonder, if anybody is interested.
I think armor bonus gives the bonus, only the authority points will not apply.
Right, got you. Yeah, for the outfit, especially the Berserker on the left, she's wearing the Thief boots, so Zamori Thief boots, the Gurnikai waistguard, I think it was Acheronian Illusionist, I think it's called, that's the top piece, and then the gold bracelets and earrings for the head and hands. Otherwise, if I had them showing with that on, as you can see on the right what they're wearing, it'd look a ridiculous armor set because it's all mashed up in different pieces from different sets. I've heard lots of people use different sets and people give them Godbreaker, etc. and things like that. Yes, Godbreaker might have really high armor, but the way I see it, that with this setup that I've got, they've got a decent amount of armor on them. If we take a look at her armor stats, so you can see how much armor she's got.
The top. Wish they'd bring the set back.
Yeah, you never know. Emil, they may well do. They may well bring it back, you never know. But yeah, when they brought out the Thaumaturgy bench, and you could do this, what they called illusionary system, which is kind of close to a mod like PC.
Is there a beta code?
I'm not sure on that one. Don't know if Angara, if you're still around, or anybody will know. Bulwark, oh there you go. No. Oopsie daisy. Right. See how we go. Get that guy.
You just have to have the test live version of the game installed.
There you go. Likes Bulwark. Yeah, it's just like another version of the game, isn't it? In Steam. It should appear in your Steam.
No code, just free in the Steam client.
Thanks, Angar. Yep. Brill.
When you buy the game, you will have versions in your Steam library.
Yep. There we go. See, so many knowledgeable people. Absolutely brilliant. Ow. I forgot to dodge. Right. Yeah, and I bought her in here as well and took this guy on. And I'm not kidding, in probably half a dozen hits. She just absolutely... Go on, jump at me. Go on. Missed! Sorry. Just couldn't resist that one. Had to get that. Where are you going?
Show what weight your equipped armor has.
God, take you! Take
Yep.
that!
Just take this guy down. Boom. Right. So, let's have a look. I'm actually wearing the full Redeem Legion set. So that gives me... Now it actually isn't going to be accurate because I actually have the bulked plating on my head, the hands and the feet. And then I'm actually using the armor reduction kit on the legs and the chest. So at the minute it works out like 1835 on my head, 1075 sorry on the chest,
Okay.
1058. Those are down to 762. There's something ridiculous like 20 odd I think at first. And then 10. So I could have used armor reduction on them all, but I just want to get as much sort of armor value out of the things that I can get. Now normally I'd collect all this stuff, but because this is just testing, I'm like, not really much point. I'll pick them up now, but normally if I'm just playing around like this or we're just chilling, there's no point me collecting everything because I already have a lot of it back at base from just playing and leveling up. Is there anybody here that wasn't in the stream? I don't know if it was last week or the week before when I showed the spa down on the river that I built. If you weren't here, let me know and I can quickly jump down there again and let you have a look. It's actually a pool that we built and sort of a representation of a sauna, if you will. Obviously you can't really make one because we don't really have mods or anything, but kind of represents that type of thing. So if you weren't here, let me know and I'll nip down to the river and we can do a little tour. It's just there.
That spa is looking great.
Thanks, Bulwark. Yeah, it took me a bit to build it, to be honest, especially for getting the depth right from a pool, you know, where the floor wasn't sticking up too much and getting the foundations in the right place.
Do you have a build video on that?
No, I didn't actually do a video on it as I was building it. I built it again and actually made it as good as it is now. It wasn't as
Get
good.
a good amount of views.
Yeah, it probably would actually. I might actually have to do a little, as I call it, cinematic tour of it. So like I'll do it in first person and have all these things on the screen all turned off and maybe put some music in the background, or may do it that way, or I might do it narrated, not really sure yet. But yeah, it's an improved version of a previous one I had before I had to wipe this server because of bugs. And it was one of the players that plays on the server actually messaged me and asked was I going to be putting the pool back in again, and I'd totally forgotten about it. So of course I said yeah, I'll redo it, and I totally missed that, didn't I? Excuse me. Spent a few hours rebuilding it and changing it, building it and changing it, and then yeah.
Do it.
Okay. Yeah, I spent a good few hours building it, changing bits, and I can actually admit that I actually decorated it myself as well. Yeah, shock horror. The decoration that's in here, I actually put these in myself. And yes, Gaming with Gem did come and have a look round and she gave her approval. She was very impressed by it, so you know. So there we go. Where are you two young ladies? Right, we'll tell you to stay there a minute. But we'll make sure later on attack all enemies, because I don't want you standing there doing nothing. So you should be leaning on the wall, so actually I'll tell you to stop doing that. So we've got our couple of guards outside. Let me go into that and it takes everything off the screen a minute. So if we go in here, there we go. That ceiling I did actually do in the full Aquilonian at first, and I decided that the wood actually made it look a bit nicer, and then the glass ceiling. So then we've got our entertainer, and at this side we have our latrine, or toilet as we call it, what's called a latrine in this game, and then the wash hand basin, and our reception with bits and pieces, some food and drink if people need it, some beds that that's a thinking room. That's a good one. I like it, thinking room. Yeah, because that's what we seem to do a lot of thinking, isn't it? Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, so we've got lifeguard here, some more beds. This is our representation of a sauna. I'll do a proper video on this, do a proper slow walk round on it. We've got a nice relaxation tub with a person with a fan to keep us cool so we don't get too warm. Some more beds. And then another lifeguard at this side, some cupboards for people to use. Then the housekeeping side with all the towels. And then another thinking room, as Bulwark says. And yeah, another cool thing, I need to come out this so this works properly. Now with this new dive animation, if I'd have just dived off here before, it'd just be like a bomb, dive bomb. But now if I run, jump and hit circle, we can now do a nice proper dive into the pool. Unfortunately I do have the fish coming in still, but couldn't do anything about that. So again, run, jump, circle, and a nice dive into the pool. That actually makes it even more enjoyable now since they've changed that animation for that swan dive. Really, really cool. So yeah, be on the lookout for a little video coming shortly, hopefully, as soon as I get a chance. There's a little cinematic version. I'll do a walk around of this and kind of show everything off properly. Like I say, might get some views on it, who knows. And we've got our entertainer here. And then the old Stygian bench from the Battle Pass, I think it was. Thanks, Bulwark.
Very spiffy.
Thanks, York. Much appreciated. Of course, she's dancing away now. Right, so the question is now, what do we want to do? Let's have a think. What are we going to do? Let me remember as well. Yeah, this one, Dungeon Delver, to get that set I used for the agility build. I wondered how you got that, and like many people, I had to YouTube it in the end. And of course, like I said in that video, you get Dungeon Delver when you visit the Dregs, which is surprisingly the first dungeon it wants you to find on that journey. So I did this the other day, worked all through it to get that armour, which took me...
Do you know there is a medium armour that you can craft at the Drost Temple? The Pride of Isa. Looking at my base like pleading face.
Ah... I had heard of that voodoo, yeah. I just couldn't actually honestly remember where to get it. I have obviously heard of it, yeah. But at the time, couldn't. Yeah, should just googled it or gone on the wiki, I suppose. But I wanted to get the video out while I had the time, and that set seemed to work for me as a good one. Yes, a lot of people I have heard mention sort of use it for PvP. But
I've got to go for now. Catch you guys some other time. Happy weekend all. You want to find it now. For the stuff at the mounds.
no worries, Emil. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. And see you next time.
Bye, Neely.
Sorry, I missed that last bit of chat then. What were we saying? I think we were talking about the Pride of Isaiah, weren't we?
FYI, just checked Cannibal Brute on PTR and still has a melee damage modifier of 3.12.
Thanks, Angar. Superstar. Much appreciated, so there we go. At the moment, as it stands in that, they've still got the same. Obviously, as we always say, subject to change, but at the moment it's looking like they will be the same. So, there you go. Now you know. Brill. Right.
When I made my IDO he had 3.22. I guess they go back and forward between those numbers.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that they do go backwards and forwards, but it's going to be interesting. I think I left mine up here near the sinkhole. Sorry for all the jumping around. It's just quicker and easier because we're just sort of chatting and we're just chilling out and exploring different things, and that building there is something to be revealed. That's a work in progress, that big one at the back, between myself and Gamer with Gem, so hopefully you'll see that coming soon. So just bear with us on that one. And this, obviously, as I mentioned before, is our admin shop that we have here on our server. And yeah, if we... no, let's take you. No, actually, because you've got... See what I mean? So you stay there, you come with me, and you follow. This is one that I had, and that's what she got when she levelled up. So I was actually quite surprised with the amount of health, to be honest. And that's even without any bulk plating on.
Here. Catch your ladders. Have a good one, smiling face with sunglasses.
No worries, Angar. Enjoy your curry. Thanks for popping in.
Tomorrow will be 36 degrees where I am. Pray for me, grinning face with smiling eyes.
Oh, flipping out bulwark. Yeah, cheers, Angar. Thanks for stopping in.
Ornate tight Angar.
Enjoy the curry, and we'll catch you on Sunday. So yeah, she's using the exact same setup as the others. I just haven't literally put the bulk plating on it yet, but I just disguised her gear as the Defari set. Yep, she's following.
Are you running any mods with the beta?
No, Voodoo. I'm actually on console, so unfortunately I can't use mods. I know Bulwark is on PC, I believe. I think Angaru's just left, he's on PC as well. But no, unfortunately, I can't have mods on here because Sony won't allow it. Which is a bit of a shame. But there we go. We have to just kind of do what we can. I have been asked in a video before.
I don't use mods, it's just a personal preference.
Oh yeah, of course it's Bulwark, yeah, exactly. Dark Angar says I think the only one he uses is Hostef's custom UI, just to change the UI a bit. I'm kind of like that when it comes to trying it on PC. I don't want too much in there. I want to enjoy the game as sort of authentic as I can. Yeah, I've been asked in videos before, like, where'd you get the hairstyle that I'm using? And I think if I remember correctly, it comes with the Debaucheries of Decketo DLC. And obviously this is the hairstyle that you see in most of my videos that I do. And I do also change it up a bit, sometimes to a different colour and a different style when I'm just playing regularly. Easy. Right, let's go pay a visit, hello Rabbit, to our friends in the summoning place.
Who do you have a question or just wondering? Maybe if you want some info I can provide.
Don't make me hurt you, wanderer. Don't want to cause trouble here.
So we'll fight our way in here, and then just for anybody who doesn't know, we are here at the summoning place on the map, which is right about here, kind of in where are we, H5. There are recipes you can learn in here, and there is, I think it's 2 or 3 spawns for the cannibal brute, and there's also sorcerers that spawn in here still, and a Yogg priest or witch doctor, who is the tier 4 alchemist, can spawn in here as well. So excuse the crazy drums while we're going here, it's a bit weird. The audio and visual goes a bit weird in here, so do bear with me. Let me know if this is too dark for you guys as well, if you can't see, because I am aware that YouTube makes things quite dark. If you can't see, let me know and I'll use the wisp or something. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. So if we collect our stuff, and then we want to look for that one.
Linda.
Then we want I think that's the right one. Yep, there we go. Apologies for the way it flies around, it's a bit crazy, but just helps us to keep 2 weapons in our hands so that we can keep moving. Anybody gonna see us, or are you all gonna keep doing what you're doing? No. You're gonna get them. Nice and easy in here now, of course, because we are high level with high level gear, but if you come in here at really low level you could get absolutely swarmed, so just be careful.
I see prey.
Do you? I don't. See, that was the brute then. You see how she just one-shot her. I mean, they are low health, to be fair. Who have we got up here? Have we got a fighter, or have we got another brute? It's a fighter.
That wisp is not fun for me to use. I would have preferred to just radiate from your body a green light radius. Downloading the beta now. Okay, Voodoo.
Nice, York. Nice. Great that you guys are all helping each other and working stuff out. That's nice to see. This is what I want to try and do, is build a nice little community of people who want to help each other and enjoy the game just the same as we do. Yeah, this is going to be another cool thing. You're not going to start seeing plant fibre in a chest or stone in a chest anymore. That'll be brilliant. I'll actually get loot that's potentially worth taking. So that's them. Yeah, you can learn this as well. If you interact with those, you can make those. Another chest again there. And then, yeah. Sorcerer spawn. Right there. Skulls are no good now, but you could use them for decoration purposes in your base if you wanted to. Oh, hello. get free. Hey up. Tarzan's in the house. Always like that every time we hear that. Just sounds like Tarzan's arrived. Alright. Now we one of them. Got EA. Safari fighter. Can't see where he was. Where is he? Oh yeah. It was a Yog priest. Nothing on him, but yeah, the Yog priest will usually be stood here in the middle, or you could get the witch doctor if you're lucky. Book there that we can learn. I don't know why I always press back when I'm just touching on stuff, but I always do that. Come around here. You get that guy. Oh, hello. See you. Plenty of different crafters in here again as well, all the Defari faction.
Cause trouble here.
Just like the lady said, you don't want to cause trouble here. So yeah, isn't anybody again, and there's another book here, specialist cooking, so that's there, and let's get out of this place because them drums are driving me crazy. You go insane if you stay here too long. And I did forget, as you're coming in, if you turn left on the stairs, there's another book here. That one as well.
Anyone have an issue with their thralls spawning away from the base, specifically where you captured them instead?
Spawning away from the base when you capture. What do you mean, Voodoo? Do you want to sort of explain what you mean a little bit with that? Not really too sure what you mean. Everybody mind your eyes a minute, because it's going to be daytime very quick. Ooh, wow, that's bright. And to do this spell you don't have to be corrupted, and it now doesn't cost anything either, which is great. So we'll remove that because we don't need that light on anymore.
I know on official servers I saw a glitch like that.
That's an interesting one then. Yeah, I've not heard of that one. Very interesting.
It sucks having to go get them, especially after leveling them.
Yeah, I mean I've had it happen in the past where I've been in dungeons, for example like Clayle Stronghold, and then I've come out of the door, and then when I've got outside they're either both invisible, or not invisible, they're both missing, or one of them is and one of them isn't. Sometimes you can just kind of run away from the door a little bit with that one and they'll appear, or you can do the return command and it'll appear, or try a little jump, or try to climb somewhere
Maybe
if you
you
can.
told them to stop in that place.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. Well, like if I just told her to stop here now, she'll stay here, but then if I go off somewhere, not sure how long it is, whether it's 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, she will essentially in a bit change from what's she doing now? Following still. She says scouting, so she'll stand here for a bit. She'll eventually return home, which home essentially should be back to the last place that I set her down to
Make
guard.
them follow you and bring up the command wheel and tell them to follow.
Yeah.
Sorry, return.
Yeah, it's like for me on console, it's hold square, then I get that wheel, click return, and obviously I return to it. So if I told her to stop following, and then her to stop following, this will work presumably exactly the same way. If I went over here and I say, oh flipping heck, I haven't told them to come with me again. If I then hold, when it lets me do it, come on. Yeah, see they won't follow now. Usually, oh no, start that again. Follow, follow. If I hold down square and then
tell them to stop from the wheel.
That's right, yeah. If I hit stop, they'll essentially stand where they are now. Now obviously that says they're still following me, but they've stood there. Now if I forgot about them and I go off somewhere after a certain period of time, as I say, they should return to the previous location where I last set them down to guard. So if that was in front of here, they should return to there. But if I'm running off like this now, then I forget that I've told them to follow or not. If I now hold square and then click return, as you can see, both come running up again. So I can, if I look away from them, tell them to move, and obviously my hand points that way so they move over there, but they do come back to you for some reason, which is weird. But then, yeah, if I tell them to stop again, they'll stay where they are. So I'm running away, return,
Maybe
and
it's a mock glitch on my end.
oh, they've just seen the hyenas. Yeah, it could be. Could be a bug with the mod, possibly. That is very possible, it could be. You never know. So yeah, that sounds pretty good with the cannibal brute then. They are potentially staying the same. Just bear in mind they are only a like low tier Defari faction. So when you've got her at 3,800 health, which is pretty good, you can get Delincias or Berserkers that can have very similar to that, or the Berserker I just leveled up this morning actually has close to 5k health, which is really surprising because of the perks that she got luckily in the level up. The way I boosted most of her vitality, which I'm surprised, but that looks pretty good too. But at the end of the day with it all, it is literally a case of it's what you guys like using. Whether you like to have one follower, two followers, or whether you're a solo player that doesn't like having followers. Some people don't. You know, some people just prefer to run themselves solo as they are. So, yeah, anybody got any more questions or anything? Anything about chapter 2 that's coming up that they're unsure about, or anything that they're excited about they want to share that they haven't already, or anything they're disappointed about, changes that they don't like, changes that you do like?
No. I'm good.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Trying to think.
Download just finished and now I gotta go to work, lol.
Oh, typical your... No, typical voodoo. Yeah, typical. Always happens that, doesn't it? Downloads doing that, it starts to finish when you need to go to work. Oh, typical. Tell you need to start a YouTube channel. Get covering Conan. Then you can eventually give your job up and get paid for doing this. I mean, I'm not just yet, unfortunately. I am working on...
With smiling eyes.
I am working on getting to turning this into a paid job, which I would like to do. because that is my ultimate aim at the end of all this, to make this my job that I do every day, and part of that is obviously trying to grow a community and get people to watch these little streams when I do them, but mainly certainly to watch the videos. Trying to get to a goal of 500 subs, as many of you may know, to get the first set of perks unlocked for being a YouTube content creator, which means I can have things like super thanks, which is a things that if you guys wanted to do, if you really liked the video and you wanted to give a super thanks on it, you can donate that way, kind of thing. There's also merchant I can promote, whether it's my own or merchandise from different retailers, that if people buy from that link,
Sub.
if people oh thanks Voodoo, much appreciated. That yeah, people if they buy from that link or buy anything from that link, I can get a very small percentage of that as well, and then never mind the 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers. We're a bit off that one yet, but we're nearly to the halfway mark. We're almost at 400, or we may have just even hit 400 thanks to Voodoo, and we're trying to work at our target of hitting 500. I did say by September, but probably being a little bit ambitious there, as my birthday is the 8th of September, so it might not quite happen, but we're getting close.
I hope you make it, GL.
Thanks, Bulwark. Yeah, I'm trying my best with it. I mean, all I can do is try and bring out content that I think people will enjoy, and if people enjoy it, they'll want to watch it. If they don't, they won't. We're all trying to cover the same thing, and I just sit with YouTube that if you're covering a game that somebody else is, everybody has their own community, but we all join in other creators' communities, don't we? And join in the chat and give advice and give tips and look out for each other and support each other, and that's what I think content creation should be. It should be people give advice and tips and tricks, because you'll have creators that have done it for years, and people like myself who've just been doing it just over a year and still learning. I always say it, and I keep saying it, Angar was one of the people who got me doing it and has kept me doing it, kind of thing. Learnt a lot from him, and Whack 4863, Firespark 821 in the early days, I learnt a little bit from him as well. And United Gamers Authority, they're another channel who I've learnt little bits from, and I support them as well. They will be live streaming tomorrow night.
Me too.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he, Bulwark? Really down to earth and really honest, and explains things very plainly, doesn't he? And if it's a game you enjoy playing and you want to share it with other people, why not? The more we can get, the better. Because then we can all help each other and all build our own communities and earn our own living from it, but have fun doing it. And let's face it, if it's a game you love playing, why wouldn't you want to share it with other people and share your experiences and your tips and ways of doing things? And like I always say in my videos, that I'm not telling you or telling people that you have to put this equipment on your trolls or your followers, you have to give them this weapon. It's purely, this is how I found it works, this is how I do it, this is what works for me, give it a try, kind of thing. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. And yes, I'll get people who'll tell me I'm wrong, and I've had comments in the past where I've had people saying, oh, you should play this game more before you give advice, and like, do you even know how long I've been playing when you're saying that, kind of thing, but it's all part of the journey and all part of being a YouTuber, unfortunately. But we'll get there eventually. Of course, some of the other ways you guys can support me at the moment, until we're able to do the others, is obviously by joining these streams as you do, watching the videos, leaving comments, subscribing, which most of you have, and obviously leaving a like on streams and on videos. It just helps the YouTube algorithm to recognise that these are worth recommending to people, and the more people get to see it, it's like the snowball effect, isn't it? Carries on rolling, and then more views means more views, and potentially more views means more subs, and more subs shows me that people appreciate the work that I'm doing, and makes me enjoy it even more, to be honest. Another thing I can look at eventually, once we hit the 1000 subs, is obviously channel memberships. Now, I'm not necessarily going to use that, but if people would be interested and are prepared to support me in that sort of way, I don't expect them to, but if people wanted to become a channel member and I was able to do it once we hit the 1000 subs, yeah, I'll have a couple of different
Don't mind the negativity. One thing you will learn, and what I heard from larger channels, is that when you have more PPL there will mine.
Oh yeah, bulwark, exactly. You're going to get the trolls and the negative people, aren't you? But you're going to get the good people like yourselves who are here supporting me now and that comment on my videos and give me advice and tips of things I didn't know, and like Angar and even like I say United Games Authority when they've popped in, and I learn by watching other people as well, you know. It's what it's all about, isn't it? You've just got to take it on the chin, as they say, and just move on from it. Don't let it get you down, because if you let it get you down, you'd give up, wouldn't you? You know, and if this is what you enjoy doing and you want to share it with everybody else that's a fan of the game, why wouldn't you? Doesn't mean to say, obviously, we'll always cover Conan. There are other games we can potentially cover in the future, depending on sort of what people like and obviously what people would want to watch, kind of thing. But who knows? You know, this is why we want to. I want to build a community of people that want to watch what they would like to watch. You know, not what I think they'll want to watch. So, one thing I can do. Why do we need to? Let me just think.
You just need to make the difference between constructive criticism from trolling or negative criticism. Hi. Hey,
Smoku, nice to see you. How you doing? How's your week been? Hope you're good. Nice to see you. Nice to have you with us. Yeah, exactly, Bulwark. Yeah, exactly. You've just got to be able to differentiate the difference between somebody genuinely being negative and trying to put you down, and somebody, like you say, constructive criticism. So it's not to put you down and tell you what to do, it's to help you to realise and to learn, because that's the only way you're going to learn, isn't it? You're only going to learn by learning. And even Angar's said it before in streams and in videos, that that's the thing with this game at the moment. You're always going to be learning something, because they're constantly changing it. And then you bring guides out for things like with Age of War, with the first chapter. I had to redo my Separamaru guide because I thought it was appropriate, because a whole new age, and there'd probably be new players joining, new people playing the game. Yes, it was pretty much 99% the same as it was previously, but slightly shorter, because obviously we'd already had a guide out for it, but that got a lot of views because it's updating people on things that are changing. And I want to try and explore different types of videos within the game, you know, whether it's build guides, guides of any sort particularly, or whether it's a let's play style series that people would like, or tips and tricks. You know, it's about finding out what you guys as the community, what you want and what you'd like to see. Like, I don't want to start doing a let's play series if people aren't going to watch it. If you know, people are interested in let's play, which is me playing the game as if I was just playing the game, but they find a beginner's guide more interesting, or they like little tips and tricks videos that point out different things in the game that they may not know, or a guide on a solo build, or a good follower build. Yeah. You know, that type of thing. It's all about building a community and trying to give your community what they would like, rather than you giving your community what you think they would like. Really, it's one of them. So if we go back here, right, can't tell where them two are now, where are they? They all look the same. So you stop following a minute. That's you, isn't it? So you stop following there. So yeah, as I say, I've kind of built all this. I've not done any experimenting yet, but we've kind of got some of these trebuchets set up. Whoops, a bit of a lag there. Just up on these different towers. I don't know how effective they're going to be, or whether it's going to be even worth using them. I don't know if a forward operating base would spawn there anywhere. I mean, it could spawn right there. But I just thought I'd try them. Just do it this way, it's a bit quicker and easier. So I've got one on that corner, one on that corner, and one there. But my main base at the minute, with all my stations and all my crafters, etc., and a little studio that I use for videos and what I've used, all the way up here at my main base, which is just on the edge of the snow. But this is just a new piece ready for the chapter 2 when it comes
I don't
out.
mind at the moment that PPL don't watch that much my Let's Play. I'm still learning to make videos and just want to put out stuff.
Ah, you're doing great, Bulwark, don't worry about it. I've certainly found it interesting, and you know, you listen to other people, don't you, and hear how somebody explains something and think, I could explain that another way. Or I think it was Shade from United Gamers Authority said it to, or somebody, one of his guys, that, you know, you might make a video similar to somebody else looking at the same thing, but the way you explain it might speak differently to somebody that somebody else had watched. Like, I could explain, I don't know, the Black Keep, for example, one way. The next day or the next week you could do a video on the Black Keep, pretty much do it exactly the same way I just did, but somebody might find your way of explaining it easier than mine, or they might find my way easier than yours. Doesn't mean that either of us are right or wrong. We all find our creators for games that we like playing, or streamers that we like watching, because, and certainly subscribe to them if we do, because we find that they have a similar play style to us. They appreciate the comments and the advice, and they interact with their and actually care about their community. You know, they're not. You get some content.
How's going?
You know, you get some creators out there who just, you know, they think, "Wow, this is my game. I'm playing it this way. If you want my build,
How
you
doing, lads?
you
I'm
must."
just chilling with lads.
I'm good, Smoker. Yeah, doing good, thank you. Bit of a quieter week this week because I've just been, you know, looking at a few different bits, and then watching the dev stream, FunCon dev stream yesterday, try and get some stuff from it, and then
I have almost 3,000 hours in Conan, but I really enjoy watching how other people approach the game.
hey, you're catching me up there. Yeah, I surprised myself a few weeks back. I thought, how many hours have I got in Conan? I wonder. And at the time it was over 3,000, and I said to myself, wow. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but then I thought, yeah, remember, you're a content creator. You're going to have all them hours. I haven't been busy on the test live, no. I don't know if other people have been on. I do have it on PC. I just haven't got round to trying it yet, because obviously I don't make my content on PC. So it would be a little bit more tricky for me to get videos and stuff off there, but I'm watching other vids that a couple of my creators that I watch bring out, and getting some information from it, and kind of preparing myself on this version.
How did you find the new changes, Smokers?
Yeah, Smoker, what do you think of the new changes? How are you feeling about it? What do you like, what don't you like, what you're unsure about?
At York Leatronic, nice going. I have 2,000 and still feel like a knob.
No, you're not a novice, don't worry.
Oops, sorry.
Doesn't matter whether you've got 12,000 hours in this game or 12 hours in the game, you know, we all start somewhere, we're all in it together, and let's face it, we all play the game because we love it, whether it's on PC or it's on console. You know, we have our likes, we have our dislikes, you know, There's things we really love about the game, there's things that frustrate the heck out of us. Like the last couple of patches we had where I thought, oh, have they finally fixed the invisible elephants? Jump on, do my update, get onto the server, fly over there, nope, still invisible. But fingers crossed, Dennis has said hopefully they found a fix for them now. And in the Age of War Chapter 2 update, when that drops and goes live, hopefully, fingers crossed guys,
Brutal man.
hopefully the thingy,
Face with tears of joy.
hopefully they will be fixed and Thunderfoot and all the other elephants won't be visible anymore, or the Black Rhino boss near Sepra Maru. Fingers crossed that will no longer be a thing.
Wow, wow, wow.
Aww, don't cry guys. We're not happy tears here. Here?
Smoke was copious, me too. I finished Sipta with friends back before they added any human camps, and now I'm running around like a noob one.
Don't worry guys, don't worry about it. When I first started my beginner's guide series, brand new character, you know, starting everything again, starting from scratch, and there were things I was forgetting, and I'm saying to myself, what a noob, come on, how many hours you got in this game?
In Chapter 2, can we still buy legendaries via the blood crystals?
As far as I know, yes. I don't think they've said that we won't be able to. You get your ancient obelisk from there as well, to obviously buy the weapons and the tools. I do actually have a little video on the channel talking about
Great.
how you can obtain the obelisk coins from the dungeon and how you can do it, and obviously just showing the merchants again that are there. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. It is on the channel there. It's only a short video just talking about Mekimosis Spire and how you can buy the stuff from there still. And yes, by the look of it, Chapter 2 they are.
Legendary chests.
You can farm legendary chests now, but in Chapter 2 they are, the legendary chests from bosses are not going to be there anymore.
Drops.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because once Chapter 2 drops, the legendary chests, you can still kill the world bosses, and you will still get a key from them, but instead of having a chest near them, you'll be able to keep those keys, and if you go in a dungeon, so let's say Clayle Stronghold for example, there'll be a chest either in the dungeon at some point or at the end that you'll be able to unlock that will obviously have that legendary weapon in it at the end of the dungeon, so it kind of makes those dungeons worth farming a little bit more as well, because obviously you've got an extra reward that, yeah, you don't know where you're going to get, it's still going to be the RNG what weapon you get, but at least you can do it. Right, this is the, I think this is the young lady. I thought she had 5,000, but no, 4,291 health. And that was the perks that she kind of came with. A little bit on agility. She is more strength.
Making it like Sipta with chests in vaults.
Yeah, exactly, York. Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be very similar. Yeah. Yes, I know she has a bit in agility, but kind of with the perks that she got, she feels like she runs pretty good. So with over 4k health, she's pretty decent. This is what I'm going to keep to use.
Good video would be an efficient world boss to a low.
Check this lady again. Yep, so this is one of my bearers that I had in my friend taming build. If you haven't seen that one.
A few Sipta mechanics in Chapter 2.
Yeah, combat's certainly going to be a little different. Apparently now if you're doing an attack in Chapter 2 you're going to be able to...
Convergence track.
Yeah, there's something happening with those, isn't there? Is it not going to be the conversion straps? They're just going to be for, was it storage? I think Dennis said now. You can store things in them, or you can't do anything with them now. I'm not entirely sure. I can't exactly remember exactly what he said, but I know he said they are going to be a bit different. The conversion straps.
Combat is nicer, I think.
Yeah, it definitely does look a bit smoother. Like if you're attacking somebody, your hits are definitely going to hit a lot more now. I mean, the amount of times I lock onto somebody and I'm like that, and I end up going flying past them and
Not sure yet.
not even hitting them. It's ridiculous. But the fact that they're going to lock on a bit better, and apparently your NPCs, so your followers, are going to hit a lot more hits as well, and the enemy attacking you are going to hit you a lot more accurately as well. Battle Pass looks interesting, shall we say. A couple of interesting looking armour sets in there, and some more clan emblems for people to get. So that's going to be another option in there as well.
What about the search spawning places? Will they still be there?
That's a good question, Bulwark. Anybody that plays Sipter, if you know the answer to that one. I presume they will be. You'll still be able to get the
Search
surge.
locations are limited though.
Yeah, I mean, I know with the new update, as we were saying earlier, if you, because of the,
I've played Sipter for ages now. Yes, because you need a clear path, and can't build on top of cliffs and trees.
yeah, that's true. If you don't have a clear path to it, then the treasure coffer will tell you that you're not eligible for a purge because the purge can't get a clear path to your base or to your treasure coffer. And it'll scale as well,
Everywhere in
so
the jungle.
it's going to scale as well, isn't it, from 1 to 10 on the difficulty, and it will tell you inside your coffer.
HMMN.
It'll tell you inside your coffer as well what difficulty your purge is actually going to be. From 1 to 10, I believe Dennis said it is at the minute, and then they may possibly increase it in the future. So we'll have to see.
Also needs a clear open space to spawn the forward base.
Yep, that is very true. If the forward base can't spawn, then potentially it'll say not eligible for purge because the base can't spawn.
It's like they took the Ley Shrine search system and changed into money.
Yeah, so like here for example, that's quite a big flat open space, so potentially if I was doing a purge here, it would probably spawn here somewhere.
So on a server where a clan has claimed the server, you can't do the purges. Grinning face with smiling eyes.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, or what they've done with it to change that. They've obviously done something with it that people will be able to request a purge, and I don't know how they're going to do it. They'll have to manage it in some way, I suppose. But yeah, where you've got land claim and what have you, because there's got to be an area around your base where the purge can obviously spot, where the forward base can spawn.
I never thought of that.
But yeah, that is a very good point, Bulwark, yeah. Especially if people spam and everything like they do.
Aqueduct is out.
Yeah. Yeah, you build up there, you'll never get a purge, will you? Because it won't be able to get to you. You possibly could still build on... Are these the bridges here? Or, no, here. Like the bridges that run up from the unnamed city, because you have got, at certain points, you've got the staircases, haven't you? That obviously lead from the ground up onto the bridge. But it depends, if you built up there and you leave those staircases open, whether the operating base would spawn underneath still, and then they'll say, okay, they're coming, and they'll run around and up the stairs to your base or something. I'll maybe have to test, see if that happens.
Even the Highlands I found tricky.
Yeah, because it's not very flat in a lot of places, is it? It's quite raised up, and then you've got all the little NPC camps everywhere. That's very true. That's going to be interesting, that one. Probably in the snow won't be too bad in some spots, because you've got it quite open. They probably spawn on some of the flat pieces. Certainly the desert. I'm wondering how it's going to work down here on New River, because obviously a lot of it isn't very flat. There's trees and things, but they're saying they can spawn them anywhere, so
the devs will see that even if they have some good ideas, most of the time some GRND ideas will not work.
yeah, it's alright in theory, as they say, but it's when you put it down or on pencil, on paper, as they say, or digital screen, as it would be nowadays, because obviously it's all done on computer, isn't it? Probably. But yeah, actually,
That's why I told GL at the beginning of the stream that these devs will ruin the game.
yeah, yeah. Well, let's hope they don't. Let's hope they don't ruin it.
I don't mind it in single TBH.
Yeah, single player's fine, because obviously if you do a single player, it's only you, isn't it? Oops, I forgot to set myself out of creative.
A dedicated purge base. For sure, maybe that's their intention.
Yeah, I think it probably is, actually. You're probably right there, guys. Definitely.
To make it a single player.
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see, I guess. See what happens. Hopefully it doesn't become single player, because, you know, you want the online stuff still to be able to play with your friends, don't you? So we'll have to see on that one. Definitely more to come, I'm sure. More announcements and tweets and what have you. And of course, no doubt, I'm sure.
Most
I know
of
it.
Chapter 2 is aimed at single player.
Not sure, but it does feel like that, doesn't it? But yeah, sure, we'll have. I know he's not here now, but sure, we'll have lots of interesting content coming up from Angara over the next few weeks, leading up to the release of Chapter 2. Sure, he'll bring out some little informational videos for us, talking about different things that he's discovered and what he likes and doesn't like, because he's very good on that kind of thing, so we'll be watching out for those. I'll be doing what I can. Obviously,
rolling on the floor laughing.
Obviously I'm limited on console. Even rendering's a nightmare. And this is PlayStation 5. But, you know, what can we do? We can only work with what we've got, I suppose. I suppose we've got to be thankful the game's still running. You know, even if it does have its problems. Just be thankful we still have a game to play and they haven't just given up on it. Although it does feel strenuous and a grind sometimes, and the way they've changed things with followers, that you're gonna have to, your followers are becoming more expendable because you will lose them in combat, so that's why they've made them easier to get. And
those big alpha clans in the sky base is gonna love it, lol.
oh yeah, of course they are. Yeah. Except being in a sky base, the purge won't be able to get to them, so they won't be having any purges anytime soon. But yeah, I'm thinking this will be a nice flat piece of land here, potentially end up seeing a purge spawn here, which is why I built this here. This is something I'm going to be testing with some explosive traps, because I want to know if enemies come here and they run over this and they run into them. If I run over them, they certainly blow up, but I want to know if they're going to blow up and actually injure them if they run over it. That's before, hopefully, they run over those and blow those up before these people all come charging out and kill them, because I don't want them getting blown up as well. But yeah, we will have to see on that one.
Spike mazes.
Oh yeah, spike mazes even, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Wonder if you'll see community perch bases on servers.
You mean like a base that one person builds and opens it up for people to all come along with their followers and things and help defeat that purge and then share out the loot kind of thing, is that what you mean? Because yeah, that would be interesting if that's what you mean.
Yay.
Yeah, that definitely would be interesting. Like you'd advertise it in some way and people can go help defeat a, I don't know, level 10 purge, let's say. You say, but the rules are...
Everyone.
Yeah, where you get people to... Yeah, a group of people form a clan and build it, and yeah. There may be a way that you can do that. I don't know. Suppose that's something we'll have to wait and see about. Oh, you're there. I wonder why she's gone. She's here. Alright, you're not going to stand here anyway now, are you? Nope, because there's a lady up the top. And for the moment, you can just stand there.
At Bulwark they absolutely chew through the spikes. Well, we had something like that on a PC server. If anyone had a purge, like 10 ppl showed up to hell, and they could serve Exiles too.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, this is going to look a little different. Obviously this will still be the same, but this UI, when you look at it, will have all this at the top, but then it'll have more information underneath.
Yeah, but the idea.
And then a button to obviously request your purge. And based on, I don't know what this would come to at the minute. I want to say a level 5 or a 6 possibly, maybe a 4. Might be less than that, I don't know how the values are going to work. But we'll have to see on that one. How they're going to work it, sort of purge value wise. But yeah, I'm going to hopefully try and download it on my PC. My PC isn't the best, unfortunately. It's a very basic one, but it should be okay. I'll see if I can get the beta, whatever you want to call it, installed. I'll maybe have a play around on single player a bit using my controller that I've got for the PC. See what I can discover or what I can find out, and then because I need to look into obviously how I connect my PS5 up to my PC with my capture card and set up a stream and all that type of stuff. I've not really looked into all that properly. I've watched a few videos on it, but there's a bit more involved with it than just pressing go live like you can on console. But I would like to do it through the PC eventually, so that if we ever get a crash or a bug or anything like that, you guys won't get disconnected. The stream will still carry on, and I can just put a picture up while I reload the game or what have you, and I can schedule a stream and make people aware that I'm going to be doing it at a certain time, and you know, it's all a learning curve at the minute, but we'll get there eventually. As I said, I did manage to collect some of these gradually. A couple of them have certainly got these from New Azagoth, and it was a bit of a trek getting from there all the way back down here with them. I just actually set up a couple of temporary portals, teleporters rather, from here and one outside New Asgard, just while I was farming it a little bit, see if I could get them to spawn, so I didn't have to walk all the way back with them. But yeah, it's going to be as well, if this guy gets killed, then you've essentially lost, so you don't want this guy to get killed because you lose your treasure. Because they will pick it up and they will try and walk out with it, but apparently if you see the person with the bag, so it's like a big loot bag, trying to walk out your base, if you kill them, they'll drop that bag, and then you've obviously...
Animals only coming in chapter 3.
And then, yeah, the... yeah, they pushed the mount back, haven't they, to chapter 3. Bit of a shame. But I think they said they'd encountered some issues with it, so they've had to push it back a bit. But yeah, if this guy dies, you'll lose your treasure. But if you see something...
go to sleep, sire guys. Good night. Have fun.
No worries, Bulwark. Be going myself very shortly. Thanks for coming in.
Fuck snakes.
Great to see you once again. Catch you next time. Snake pets are going to be in straight away, apparently from eggs, and there'll be egg. I think Dennis was saying you'll be able to find the eggs all over the map.
Later.
Yeah, possibly. Not too sure on that one. I'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look where we're up to. So yeah, we've got about 5-10 minutes to go, so before we do, does anybody have any more questions or anything they want to ask or anything they'd like to share? This is obviously all about you guys and a chance for you to chat and discuss things and ask questions. Or have you got any requests for future videos you'd like to see? Something I've maybe not covered or you'd like me to cover again, or if you want to keep doing these streams on a Friday, or if you want to stream playing something different, you guys let me know. Obviously it's all about you and what you guys want to see, what you want to watch. I'm happy to do something different on a Friday if we're carrying on with these little streams. It doesn't have to be Conan every week. Obviously this is what we're covering at the moment, but if you guys want to see it or anything like that, it's not a problem. Do let me know.
I've got to run to our power going out in 10 minutes.
Oh, no worries, Smoku. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming in. Great to see you. Catch you next time.
Was great catching you again, lads.
Yeah, no worries. Nice to see you too. Thanks for coming in and chatting. Very much appreciated.
Keep well, mate.
I'll try my best. You too. Take it easy. And yeah, just pretty simple. Finish up then. This build I'm using as my sort of follow build at the minute is just max vitality, which is the fast healer, and then glutton for punishment. Grit is obviously maxed out with the steel thewed or steel to head, people pronounce it differently, just to reduce my damage again. And then the authority is healthy diet and war party, or you can obviously use the well trained, which is the other version. So we are a little bit earlier than normal, but we did kind of start just before 7. So I think on that note, we'll call it another stream there. We've been at it a little bit there. We talked about quite a bit, gone over a few different things. I know we didn't really do a lot of exploring today, but we've had a good chat about chapter 2, the positives, the negatives, what people are thinking. But I hope you found this interesting, guys. I hope you found it useful. Lots of videos on the channel to check out. Go check them out if you'd like to do. Leave a like on this stream if you enjoyed it. Leave your questions, comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, as I say. Thank you to anybody that has today or in the past. Great to have you here. And until I see you in the next video or next week, same time, 7 PM, we'll say goodbye then, guys. So from me, it's bye bye for now.